from the big screen, and here we go, there we are. It pertains, of course, what yesterday the report did entail on the governance, the 47 governors across the devolved units in the country, and it ranked Dr. Alfred Mutua, Machakos County, first, and ended up, of course, with Ferdinand Waititu, the governor of Kiambu County, where the president does hail from. That will be a subject of discussion on how the release of the cash, the 316 billion Kenya shillings, and the additional funds by the government assented into law is going to be having much of effect positively on the county administration, despite, of course, the warning issued by the Council of Governors Chairperson Wycliffe Oparanya, the governor, Kakamega County, to shut the county operations from the 16th of September 2019. We're now 2 days from that, but appears to be there's some savior sort of the messiahship of President Uhuru Kenyatta coming into, of course, the battle ring and address the situation even as the Senate ate the humble pie about a fortnight ago. So the gentlemen are on set. On my immediate right is Areba Omoyo, political strategist. Good morning, Areba.
Good morning.
Thank you. I do appreciate your time.
Thank you so much.
It's lovely to have you.
Good to be
Thank
here.
you. Dr. Nahashon Moitalel is governance and policy expert at the center. Thank you, Daktari. Of course, clad in the blue tie. And on my far right is Cyrus Litswa. He is governance and leadership analyst or expert from the Violet Mbidi Foundation. Gentlemen, I do appreciate your time. But we'll also be taking a look at the BBI, which finally has the report at hand. We don't know the recommendations, but we are likely going to be having, as per the ODM party, a contingent who said that it might come up with recommendation which might lead the country into referendum or parliamentary system of governance, to be specific, and a Raila Odinga presidency, as per the words of Babu Wino, the Embakasi list member of parliament. We'll see whether that is the remedy point of the political incorrectness that we normally experience in the country, and that has been, of course, the trajectory ever since 1991. Areba, I'll start with you. Good morning.
Good morning.
Well, I just want to start with the report yesterday released by the organization which said or ranked the governors as per their performance. The best is Dr. Alfred Mutua, the last is Ferdinand Waititu, Kiambu County governor. Of course, yes, slippery slope to come up in terms of scaling up the heights of Kiambu County over the corruption allegations. But however, is that the real reality, the clear reflection that, and does it mirror the performance of the governors as per the list we saw yesterday?
I think, first of all, what I would like to say is that generally the performance of devolution has been below par as per my expectations. And I don't really know what criteria was used in this ranking. But in politics, we say that it's never true until it's denied. I saw one of the gentlemen saying that they have not been influenced to come up with that report. And I wonder what then made them give that statement out. But then looking at the report and ranking Alfred Mutua as the first governor and Mike Sonko and Hassan Joho,
Yes.
I'll be curious really because I didn't get an opportunity to see the criteria that was used. But then if I look at the bottom and I see Ferdinand Waititu and I see my county, John Obiero Nyagarama,
Yes.
then I tend to, in one way, or agree that indeed the report might have some kind of accuracy in it. Because when I look at, I'll focus to a county that I have more information about, that is Nyamira County, where I come from. You realize that most of the services that the Wananchi expect, they are not able to get it. Issues like basic like medication, the basic like the devolved services like sports, you realize that the county is performing below par. But now if I go top again and I see Wycliffe Oparanya, this is a county that has been touted as one of the best performing. I don't know whether one of you is from that county or that region. So I feel there's some kind of truthness in it, only that we have not been given the criteria to narrow down on what exactly was looked at in this report.
Dr. taking a look at the previous polls, of course, vis-a-vis the election times, there has been, of course, the political statements made by the political establishment in the country. In your view, then, from your perspective, has this been politically influenced, and is there the hand of any political leader in it?
No, as for now, there is no, I think there is no political influence, because the fact that it is a European and NEPAD study, it looks more of independent.
Looks.
It looks, actually, I'm not in agreement with it, actually.
There's a probability.
Yeah,
If you
there's
doubt in
some
the outcome.
I can give it
Averagely?
in a scale of 1 to 10, I can give it 3.
Okay. That is below average.
Below. But that's
where is your governor in that list?
I've struggled to give you the credibility, but they've given my governor, the Nara County,
That is a
position that I don't like, because I have there's some visible things that I can see there. Because when you say Narok, we talk of the seventh wonder of the world. And
The wildebeest migration
talk
of the
of
Mara
Masai
River.
Mara, we
Yes.
talk of what has been done to Masai Mara, and the revenue we are collecting. Because the reason why I'm doubting these results is that, as I'm seeing, the study involved 3 facets, which is self-assessment. That is where Mutua is good at.
Yes.
That I'm very sure about that.
All right.
Self-assessment. If I'm told to self-assess myself, first of all, I'll give myself 100, and then the least I'll give myself is 98%. So that is now where the self-assessment and where we seem to find some doubt is coming from. And then another one was the assessment tool, which my worry is what is the assessment tool, as well as they are talking about public opinion poll. Yeah, because when you go to the public opinion, especially if I didn't vote for you and you are somehow, I don't like you, I'll give you the least ratings. Now, but anyway, they have talked of ability to self-generate revenue, which is actually very important. It's a good tool because when there was this issue about the revenue settlement,
Yes.
I know of only 2 counties that were able to pay the salaries of their staff without waiting for the national government. And that is Nairobi County and Narok County. And that one, they didn't use that one as a parameter, because if they had used that one, it could have shown that who are the counties who can self-generate the revenue. And then, again, the county have been facing a lot of challenges in terms of public participation, because most of the projects in the county are just done without involving the county. You can wake up in the morning and find a cattle dip in a place where there are no cows. Yeah.
Or building a bridge where there's no river.
Exactly. So that's where the challenges are.
All right.
And actually, these polls are now giving us, they'll give us an opportunity in future to judge and give the right ratings to the governors.
All right.
And also we expect the one for MPs, and we also expect the one for MCAs.
Oh, all right,
Yeah.
because numbering to their thousands. Let me come to Litswa. The issue about the performance of the governors has been one issue in the public limelight ever since 2013, when we incepted the devolved system of governance. It's still at its infancy, about 6 years old, 4 years away from the breastfeeding program. Is this the clear reflection of the performance of the governors at the counties?
Yeah, I can say it is true. It is a clear reflection of the governance performance in the counties based on the indicators that were used to measure their performance. So there are tools that have been looked at when you go through that report. One is the governance issue. How do they govern their people? How do they offer the public participation, things as it is enshrined in the Constitution? Then we have something to do with the infrastructures. Okay, you know, when the budget is allocated to them, the monies are allocated to them, there are specific use for the monies. There's what you call infrastructure. Look at the health sector. Safe waters. Are they providing safe waters for the people? We have what you call health also. Then we have what we call housing projects.
Which is part of the Big Four.
Which is part of the Big Four. Then we have also food security in the
Big
counties,
Four still, yes.
which is also under the Big Four. Then we have the investment and manufacturing. Which counties how many counties have their own factories that can be able to do to manufacture goods? Okay, so when you look at such a things, I can say, and I agree with most Kenyans when they say there are those who are at 49% who don't agree with the devolution system, and then we have the 51% who still believe in the devolved system of government. Now, what we need to do is, how do we need to bring this 49 so that we can reduce this 49 so that we can have a strong belief in the devolution system? Now, it goes back to governance, okay? Now, are the governors providing services that are tangible to the common man? Are they able to provide employment to the youths? Because the youths in the counties and the country at large are unemployed. And if the counties can come and work on unemployment for the youths, then this country will reduce unemployment cases, okay? Then we look at the other things like the social services, emergency services. How do our counties respond to emergency services? Like when you have a case of fire, how will your county respond to it? You will get that there are other counties, even they don't have that fire engine that is able to renew. Then we have the youth, women empowerment, investment opportunities. Now, do our counties offer investment opportunities to these investors who wish to come and invest? Remember, investment opportunities will open doors for unemployed youths so that they can be able to be employed within the counties. Okay, we are not supposed to look at employment or creating employment opportunities from the county government, but from the investment that are coming from investors outside. You see, somebody can be willing to come and invest in a county. Okay, from either outside the country itself or from another county. This is what we call inter-county relations. Okay, so somebody may be willing to come and invest in the country. Is our county safe? There are probabilities that the counties are going to provide these investment opportunities to other investors so that reduce this thing of unemployment. Okay,
let me come to Arya, but then there has been, of course, the cry about the issue on the dependence on the national government by the counties instead of being independent when it comes to revenues. However, it's 6 years, yes, more or less there's a stricter time frame or a timeline, but is this perhaps a case of elbowing the idea on the independence of the counties to be economically stable, in the essence that it will act as a springboard for the national economy in the event that we see the national economy underperforming?
I think from the word go, when we had county councils as they were then, they also used to generate revenue. And since devolution came into place, the idea then was to try and strengthen this system so that at the end of the day, whereas we expected that there's going to become the shareable revenue from the national government, but the counties within themselves, they have ways of generating revenue, which then they can be able to use in an event, they can sustain themselves, even on the basic services, and by the time the national government has not been able to send money. But what we have seen is that that transition in itself opened a loophole where we had what we normally call as cartels, taking advantage of the transition and others acquiring county assets, others still continuing to collect revenue to accounts which were not being managed well. If you look at the case of even Nairobi itself, the amount of revenue that is being generated is a lot. So many counties are now moving to the e-platform. In that counties now, they are moving away from the cash transactions to paying using mobile transfers and paying using the account. But so far, so good. Can any county stand up and say that it is able to generate revenue which is able to run itself? No county has been able to demonstrate that. My brother here said that Nairobi County and Narok were able to pay salaries, but if they could be given 2 months down the line, then they cannot be able to sustain themselves. So we see a very clear challenge for the counties that they are not able, what they are able to collect, it's not able to sustain themselves. 2 issues come into place, and my brother alluded to that. The number one, have the counties made an environment which is very good for investors to come in so that then they are able to collect revenue? The second question is, the revenue that is being collected, is it being accounted for? So if those 2 issues can be solved well, then we are likely to see counties which are self-sustainable. If I tackle the first issue of an enabling environment for business, you realize that counties have so many levies. You try to set up a shop, you're told the occupation safety hazard, I don't know, this license, this license, this license. I mean, you have a license from the national government, you have a license from the counties. There is that kind of duplicity, which even the Kenya Association of Manufacturers has complained about. The moment then we have multiple licenses, even for startups, they're not able to survive. In that you are using a lot of money to try and set up shop, and you don't know whether you'll be profitable. So it's high time that counties looked at ways in which they're able to create a good business environment for investors to come in. The moment investors come in, the moment manufacturers come into any county, number one, jobs will be created. Number two, revenue. And we'll be okay.
Number 3,